Hi there, TMV. Today we are reading a story called Muncha, Muncha, Muncha. This is a super fun story. I wonder if you can guess what this story will be about. Go ahead, say it out loud. What do you think this story will be about? Those are some good guesses. Let's check it out. Before we do, let's see here. This book is by Candace Flemming and G. Wow. Let's take a look. Muncha, Muncha, Muncha. For years, Mr. McGreely dreamed of planting a garden. He dreamed of getting his hands dirty, of growing yummy vegetables, and of gobbling them all up. But he never once tried it until this spring, said Mr. McGreely. This spring, by golly, I'm going to plant a garden. So he hoed and he sowed and he watched his garden grow. Lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, yum, yum, yummy, said Mr. McGreely. I'll soon fill my tummy with crisp, fresh veggies. Now let's pause here. Do you see anything interesting on these 2 pages? What do you see here that gives you a hint or a clue about what might happen next? Some of you got it. Yeah, there were 3 little bunnies watching what was happening. Good spy work. But one night when the sun went down and the moon came up, 3 hungry bunnies appeared. Tippy, 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 pat. Muncha, muncha, muncha. Oh, look at those little guys. What are they doing? Oh no, Mr. McGreely is gonna be so upset. But they're hungry too. Uh-oh. The next morning when Mr. McGreely saw his gnawed sprouts, he was angry. So he built a small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. There, he declared, no bunny can get into my garden now. Oh, friends. Give me a thumbs up if you think no bunny can get in his garden. And give me a thumbs down if you think that they will. Thumbs up, thumbs down. And the sun went down and the moon came up and, say it with me, tippy, 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 pat. Spring hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Say this one with me too. Muncha, muncha, muncha. Oh, these bunnies, they may be pests to Mr. McGreely. The next morning when Mr. McGreely saw his nibbled leaves and gnawed sprouts, he was really angry. So he built a tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. Humph, he huffed. Those flop ears will never get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look. There they are. Peering from behind the sawhorse. Oh, there's Mr. McGreely. What a fence. Would you build this huge fence around your vegetable garden if something was nibbling on your lettuce? Give me a link if you would. So show me with your fingers a link if you would build that. Whoa. And the sun went down and the moon came up, and say it with me, tippy, 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 pat. Dig, scramble, scratch, scratch, scratch. Spring, hurdle, dash, dash, dash. And one more time, say it with me, muncha, muncha, muncha. Oh, one of them even has the trowel. He's gonna dig things up. Oh, I think maybe that's how he got in with the trowel. Oh, wow, what a mess. We're gonna pause here. What do you think Mr. McGreely will do now? Tell me out loud what you think he will build next. Or will he stop building? What good ideas you have. Let's take a look. Oh, look at him. Oh. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was really, really angry. So he made a deep, wet trench outside the tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. Ha! He snorted. Those puff tails can't get under it. They can't get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now. Did anyone guess that he was going to dig a trench or build a moat around his wall? I didn't think so. And the sun went down and the moon came up, and say it with me, tippy, 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 pat. Dive, paddle, splash, splash, splash. Dig, scramble, scratch, scratch, scratch. Spring, hurdle, dash, dash, dash. And say it with me again, muncha, muncha, muncha. So the last time it said he was really, really angry. What do you think it's going to say now? It might say that. Let's look. Oh! The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chomped blossoms, his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was furious. So that is a word that means really, 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 really angry. So he hammered and blocked and sawed and stalked and drilled and filled and tapped and locked, and he built a huge, enormous thing before the deep, wet trench outside the tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. I've outsmarted those twitch whiskers for sure, he exclaimed. They can't get through it, they can't get under it, and they can't get over it. No bunny, no way, no how can get into my vegetable garden now. Look at this thing, guys. So you can see down below him, over here, that's his house. So this thing that he's built is way, way bigger than his house. But who do you spy on top of his house? Oh, those bunnies, but I don't know how they're gonna get over this thing. And the sun went down and the moon came up, and say it with me, tippy, 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 stop. He stopped. The 3 hungry bunnies looked and smelled and touched the huge, enormous thing before them. And tippy, 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 pat, the bunnies hopped away. Wow, he's done it. He's stopped them. Finally, he's done it. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his untouched vegetables, he was happy. Yay, Mr. McGreely, so happy. I beat the bunnies, he whooped, and did a jiggly wiggly victory dance. Then he climbed over, jumped across, squeezed between, and crawled under until he reached his vegetable garden. Ah, sighed Mr. McGreely. At last, smacking his lips, he picked and pulled up lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, and with his basket overflowing, he reached inside for something yummy. Oh, say it, kids. Say it out loud. Have you seen anything happen on these 2 pages that maybe Mr. McGreely doesn't know about, hasn't realized? What has happened? Yeah. Say it with me, friends. Muncha, muncha, muncha. Those friends got into the basket. And that is the end. It looks like he has given up and he is going to join them in a little carrot snack. So this was Muncha, Muncha, Muncha by Candace Flemming and G. Brian Karras, and I hope you enjoyed it on our Read Aloud today. Let's do our handshake. Up, down, wiggle, wiggle, pop. Love you guys. Bye, friends.